Welcome to this week's episode of Your Internet Boyfriends. Hello, Mark T. Cox.
Hello, Denis Lane.
This week we're talking about feelings, going to town with your mother, and talking to men.
And I'll be telling Denis all about when I pioneered the bowl haircut back in 1996.
So many haircuts that I've got where I've gone, whoa, gonna have to get used to that.
Would you tell him what you want, or would you just...
I tell them what I want, but they'd never listen to me. You know what I mean? I would say, oh, can you leave it long on top? They just never leave it long on top. And then they go, do you want this much off? And I'm like, is that long? Does that mean it'll stay long?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then they'd absolutely raise their head off me.
And you just walk out the door.
Walk out the door, tears in your eyes. And then you go to the next place and they go, who cut your hair?
Oh, yeah.
And you're
feel
going,
like shit.
Oh, Christ almighty, what's wrong with my hair?
I know. Well, that's to make you feel like they're better.
Do you think it's a trick?
Of course. That's to make you think, oh, don't...
It's a ploy.
Yeah, don't go back there.
No.
Come to me. I know the best.
Crap.
Obnoxious.
I fell for it.
Yeah, I'm the best. Come to me.
Actually, there's another place I used to get my hair cut in like kind of central London, but not like hip and cool or anything. It was just in like a little, almost a hut. And I was getting a cut in there, and the guy would constantly complain about his job. Why are you cutting my hair? And I'm going like, oh, I really wish you were in better form cutting my hair.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, oh, I fucking hate cutting hair. And I'm like, no.
Do something else.
Please, like cutting my hair, you know.
Do something else.
I'm very scared when I'm in, you know, when you're in the changing room, the dressing room, or like a bus security camera.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, God, I'm going to see all angles of my head here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really hope it's all holding itself together up there. Because I can say, right, you might be all right. Me as a bald man, shocking.
Do you think?
Shocking, Mark. I'd have to work in a vegetable shop in some town in Cork.
Well, you'd have to get something else. Maybe something like
a piece?
Fun glasses. The pieces.
Mm.
So I met a man last week with a piece. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And he's had a piece for a good few years. Because I don't see him very often. So I hadn't realised that I just thought he grew his hair.
Has he always been with Peace since you knew him?
No, I knew him long ago.
Oh.
And I just wasn't paying attention. And yeah, very youthful, very good. And he has like a very specific colour of hair, and it's a perfect match. I was thrilled.
Like, were you meeting up for coffee, or was it?
No,
would the piece be put to the test in your?
Oh,
do you know what I mean? So I assume you've answered that.
The piece was put to the test.
It stays on.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
yeah.
But what if you went for? Because I remember back in the early days. Yeah, but you didn't know, right?
Yeah, no, I knew before the test.
How did you know?
Because it had come up.
Back in the early days of podcasts, you revealed that you grow a little bit more at the back of the hair.
Yeah.
Right, for a little bit of traction, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, if you didn't know, you'd have to declare it, I think. I'm not just taking the piss. I mean, like, you'd have to kind of...
Mind my piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd say, watch it. You could take...
I think they're fairly sturdy. They're fairly secure.
Not to be very secure.
Yeah.
Do they come as a hairstyle, or do you get them styled?
They come really long, and then you cut them into your own hair.
Okay.
Whatever style you want. I shaved my head a few years ago. I thought I was finished. And it was fine. But and then Derek taught me about the tablets to make your hair grow back, and I got them, and revelation. Except that little bit, right?
Yeah, we have to just say as well that we're not giving out medical advice on this podcast at all about picking up these tablets.
Try it though. Yeah, everyone's on those as well. They're very, very popular. So yeah, 2 pieces when we get a bit older. I
don't know, maybe you get to that point as well where I think I kind of get there more and more, I think, where you just don't care. You know? I've definitely had to care more, I think, since I got in a relationship. I know it sounds terrible. It's not as if I wasn't taking care of myself.
Yeah.
But there's definitely more of a motivation there. When you're like a guy like looking for a heterosexual relationship, you kind of have to make the decision that you're going after it, and it can take a while, right?
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing, you'd want to be ready on your side of things, right?
Will I tell you about my affair?
Yeah, I do. When you say affair, what do you mean?
Could mean anything. It could be a flirt. It could be 10 hours of riding.
Yeah. 10 hours?
Could be anything in between.
There'd be no piece left after 10
The piece went flying. People thought I got a piece. People thought that this was a wig.
This could be a complete ruse. How do we know it's not a wig?
And like, I didn't do anything to argue. I was like, well, maybe, what if it is? Like, that's normal now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions because my hair grew back quite quickly. And people,
But wait, did you have? We'll go back onto your affair in a minute. Did you go bald?
it was pretty bad, yeah. It was
Bald patches.
thin, just thin.
Oh, okay.
Then I shaved it and it was worse because it was like gone. Yeah, and then people thought I got a piece. I had an affair. I was in Soho doing my LGBTQIA plus walking tour
Yeah.
Saturday. And then after the tour, I like to go for a mince. I like to go for a little mince around,
I mean,
just up and down Soho.
parade.
Just see who's around, you know, make the most of being there. And I got a text from an LGBT, and he said that he had seen me on the street, and he said I looked nice. And
Wait, is this you don't know this person?
I vaguely know. We text a tiny bit a few months ago.
Okay.
I haven't met, like don't know each other. And I was like, thanks very much. And then I was like, I'm still around the corner. Like, do you want to say hello? And usually that's when people say they go silent or they get nervous or something, and they.
Yeah.
So he said, yeah. And so we met at the corner of Prowler, like the sex shop.
Oh,
It was very magical in Soho, and we had a little chat, like a little flirty little chat. And it was very exciting. And then he doesn't live in London. He was talking like about his day and he's heading back to wherever. And I was making up reasons of where I had to be. I didn't really have to be anywhere, but you know the way you're like, we're gonna play it cool here. So we said goodbye, and then I was like, do you know what? I could picture the next stage of this, of texting for 3 years about, let me know when you're back, let's go for coffee. I could feel that nonsense starting. So I was like, I'm actually free. So back to the corner.
What would time passed in between?
Oh, 3 minutes. It was very exciting. And I was like, do you want to just go for a little date? And we went for coffee and it was lovely. Little flirt.
And?
No, that's all I'll say.
That's it?
That's all.
Went away home then?
Yeah. Isn't that very exciting?
That's very exciting, yeah.
Like a little movie.
You seem a little bit more... You've mentioned stuff before, but this seems more rom-com-y. This seems more
it was
like...
very like...
It seems like it's got you a little bit.
Notting Hill, like bumping it. I don't know. It was very funny the way it happened and how we never jump at those opportunities. We always panic, run away. The amount of people I meet and they say hello and they're gone, they're run. I'm like, slow down, like talk.
So you're saying like, just take a minute, fuck each other.
Just have a fuck, you know.
Sit down, have an Americano and bang each other,
I think that's nice. But I'm just sick to death of messaging people. Like, if you meet in person, just talk.
I always say when I see someone like texting someone, or if they're on, especially on the apps, is like, just set up a date. Don't chat, just say 8 o'clock next Wednesday, drink, blah, blah, blah.
Or now. The amount of people I'd be texting and they're half a mile away and you have 2 hours messaging, like we could have been hanging out. But anyway.
Yeah. So are you going on a second date?
Well, no, sure, he's gone now.
Oh, he's gone now.
That's it.
Great, brilliant.
I
had a little bit of a thing this weekend.
An affair?
No, not an affair. I just had a little bit of excitement in my own relationship. I made a shake on Sunday. I like to have shakes. Yeah. I made a shake, and she was in getting ready because we were going to attend a little kind of soiree. And I said, "Hey, do you want a shake?" She was like, "Rah, rah, rah," inside or whatever. So I was like, "Okay, cool, coming in soon, honey, right?" And I made her a shake, and I included walnuts in it. There's about 4 or 5 walnuts at the end of a packet.
Yeah.
Right.
She's allergic.
No.
Choke.
She storms in, right? "Did you use the walnuts?"
Oh.
And she goes, I love this. She said, "I knew when I saw the packet." And then she swooshed back out into the room.
What's wrong?
"Oh, the walnuts are too expensive. I shouldn't have used them in the shake."
Oh.
So that's what my weekend was like, Mark. And then we had to march down to Lidl and pick up another packet of walnuts, which were £1.30 or something. And then went up to the till, right? Went up to the till. Honestly, I'm not the better of it after the weekend. Went up to the till. I was scanning in the things and it kept going wrong. Yeah. and a person was coming over, they couldn't fix it, blah, blah, blah. I looked down, herself's got her arse against the fucking scanning thing.
Sitting on the thing.
Sitting on the thing. And I said, your arse is on the scanner. And she said, no, it's not.
Oh.
Then looked down at her own arse and goes, oh, wait, it is. So what I'm saying is, like, take those moments and cherish them.
So you're saying if you bumped into a fella in Soho,
I think about it, yeah, probably.
go off on a little date.
Probably think about it.
And then I had another affair.
Oh, for God's sake. When?
Last night I had a little...
Do you know what, actually, right? No, sorry, no. I just have to get this out. I was thinking about this the other day. How do you get the time for all this?
I have a huge amount of things I should have done. I have a list of work I should be doing.
Oh, right, you should be getting that done, but you're just off
Yeah.
swanning around the place.
Yeah.
But like,
We find the time.
But even in terms of like your energy or whatever.
I'm wrecked. I'm fucking exhausted
Like,
all the time.
There's some days there, right? And this is a little bit graphic, but you know, like I'm there and I'm going, God, I'll have a wank. And then I'm like, definitely shouldn't do this. Do it. Whole day ruined. Right? Because I'm like, great, that was fantastic for the 30 seconds. And I'm wrecked.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine going out at 9 o'clock at night after a day's work, meeting up with some lad, having the small chit chat. I think that would murder me.
Yeah.
Riding.
Yeah.
And I assume, like, I don't know, from the way it's being painted as well, like, it's not, you know, like rubbing each other's cheek and stuff, you know, like, it's
Oh, yeah.
well in there, right?
Often the chit chat is often after. Can we just get a few topics, kind of clear them out?
What are your go-to topics afterwards that drive you insane?
Like, how long have you lived here?
Classic.
How long have you lived in this flat? How long have you lived in London? Do you go home to Ireland often? Something then about some confusion about Northern Ireland and Ireland. Or
Are you from the north or the south?
a grandmother who's something like that. And that's it. Yeah, it usually comes back to the flat, the rent. How much is the rent? I'm like, sorry, I was just inside. Why are we talking about such a mundane? It's always about the rent and the flat, and how long have you lived there, and where did you live before?
But what do you want to happen?
I don't know. God, something a bit more like meaningful.
Yeah, talk about the Dutch masters or something.
I don't know. It's always about the rent. A lot of people jump up, they snap out of it, and they're like, fuck.
I think the jump up is a bit scary. I think people should relax a little bit. I know some people won't like me saying that. I think I'm judging, but I do think, look, if you're riding each other, just stay there for a little bit.
I know. People think you want them to go, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of like reassure people, like, it's fine, relax.
Mm.
But sometimes sometimes they get
A big bold face and
the door wide open.
Yeah, arms folded.
Go now. Yeah, people jump up, relax, stay down. But the way you kind of let yourself go, then I was hanging out with a friend last night, and we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
And I've started to drop he might be listening now, so this is funny, but I've started to drop the perfect version of me, and I'm letting slip my issues because we got a takeaway and it was late.
And you started fucking bullying.
I just couldn't. I was so tired as well. I was like, oh my God, I'm being a demon. Because the thing kept going wrong, and it kept saying he was like 2 minutes away, and then he was 5 minutes away. And then our address is a bit weird. They always get lost. And I was just fuming, and I couldn't keep going with the nice romantic
bullshit.
I was very worked up.
I don't mind at all.
I know, I was so angry. And then you know when someone is like, it's a fine, like, don't worry. I'm like,
calm down, relax.
God. Which brings us on to World Mental Health Day.
It's coming up.
But just do you know when you're like, why am I so angry about this stupid little thing?
It's probably not the takeaway. That's what I'd say to you. It's not the takeaway.
Do you remember your first barber?
I remember there was a barber's at the end of town. Now, my mother as well used to bring me to a lot of hairdressers.
Women.
Okay. Yeah, women all the time, right? So he used to bring me there. I wouldn't go to too many barbers because my dad, for some reason, was mentally incapable of bringing me to a barber. I don't know why. Maybe that's too much, right? You're sharing too much with your son or something. You can't see me getting de-haired. But I used to go to a lot of hairdressers. But I remember we went to, actually, you don't know what I think of it. I think it was a hairdresser's. Went to a hairdresser's at the bottom of town, and the hairdresser said, you can get any haircut you want.
Oh.
And I was very excited by that, right? But I didn't really understand how that actually worked.
Did you have much hair to work with?
I didn't have a lot of hair to work with.
Yeah.
This was kind of a problem. I had a bit of hair though. A bit of hair. Like my hair grows quite quickly too. So I was like, a bit of hair. And I got to look through a book of like, which haircut do you want?
Of American children?
No, American men.
Oh, what age are you?
I was 5, 6.
Braids.
Like it was
Afro.
Dreadlocks, right? But I was looking through it and I was like, oh my God. And I saw something that was quite like Elvis-like.
Okay.
You know, very cool, kind of swish back. No, that's I suppose kind of like kind of greaser, you know, one of those like 50s, 60s style or something like that. And it was kind of swish back, beautiful hair, like kind of cream going through it. And I was like, this is the one I want.
Gonna get me the chick.
He's gonna get me the chicks. And I said it to her, and I went up and I said, here, I want to get this one.
Yeah.
And she was like, no.
Oh.
And I was like, what?
Too sexy.
It's 4 back end sides and a trim on top.
Oh.
Why would you do that to a 5-year-old? What was the point of the whole thing? I have no idea. Pricks.
Yeah.
Absolute bastards. I kept going to strange little hairdressers. Like I would go to my mother's friend who had a hairdresser in a house somewhere. And I would go there after school, except that, you know, the woman doesn't really cut hair.
Yeah.
And then I would go in there and get the worst haircut ever. Do you know, Mark, you've just reminded me of something. I have a school photo at home up on the wall, and my fringe is absolutely decimated in it and my brother got a tape from Argos, how to cut your family's hair. And for some reason, he decided that he was now going to be our barber. And I was going to be the only customer.
Have you sticky uppy hair?
I've got like kind of like 2 crowns at the back. So I'm very cowlicky.
Yeah.
Extremely cowlicky. I actually learned the term in Shorties the last time I was here.
Yeah.
Homosexual.
Yeah. Faggot. Say it. I was very iconic. I had a bowl.
You know what?
I had a bowl cut. I had a
Mark, I don't think you're the first person to have a bowl cut.
No, but it was like I kept it for years. It was because I was the boy that plays the organ and they called it the page boy hairstyle for some reason. Do you know what that is? Like page boy.
So you were the kid who played the organ with a bowl cut, eyeliner, and red hair.
No, that was all later. This was very lovely because my hair is super straight and it was a perfect bowl. A page boy, for international listeners, is in a wedding. There's the best man, the bridesmaids, and then they have the mini young versions. There's like a flower girl and a page boy, and they call it something else here, I think. I don't think they use the word page boy.
What, like ring bearer or something?
Something. Yeah. Oh. That's me. And I had this when I was like 5 or 6 or maybe 7. But it was a lot of upkeep because it has to be cut like very specific. Like it was really straight and rigid. It looks like like a Japanese dancer or something.
Oh my God. What age were you?
Really strike, maybe 7.
7? Were you going around with the same?
I got it till I was about 11 or 12, maybe 11. And then before I went to secondary school, I was like, I need to grow up. So
were you heavily influenced by like Leonardo DiCaprio?
I don't know where it came from. Yeah. I don't know who decided to do it the first day. But I kind of got stuck with it for years. And I used to go to this shop and it was like a comedy. There was an old man. I can't remember his bloody name, but he was one of these characters. And he'd be dancing around. He'd have Irish music and he wouldn't be cutting hair at all. He'd be like dancing with the brush and telling all yarns and stories. And I was like, this is hilarious. And then there was a woman who worked there as well. I can't remember. I think her name was Anne, maybe. But she was all glam, like blonde, like up high blonde hair, all makeup. She was very glamorous. And she always smelled really nice. She had loads of perfume. And she cut my hair because he didn't know how to do it.
He didn't know how to do the bowl.
No, I had to go to her, and it became this thing of like, I can't go to anyone else. It was
You're 7.
fucking hell. But she was very nice. You know those women that are over the top, so much perfume and jewels and jangles everywhere. She was like drag. And she put me on my little booster because I was too small, like on the booster seat. Did you have that?
No, I never had
The little block on the chair to bring you up to the normal height.
I don't think I had that.
And she'd spin me around and do the chop.
Sure, I was inside in someone's kitchen probably.
Yeah, no, it was a whole thing. But my mother would bring me, or sometimes dad. And then there was a while then where, because you never booked. Like you just walked in.
No, I just walked in. But life was so much easier, wasn't it?
Maybe hours, maybe sometimes waiting.
I used to go to town with my mother for the whole day.
The whole day.
Like just walking around. What the hell were we doing? I have no idea. Like.
All day long. And then you come home like, I'm in town all day.
Yeah, I couldn't get out of it.
There's no need.
No.
7:00. But your man spent so much time dancing and singing around the kitchen. And like maybe an American would come in and he'd tell a big story about some old...
All lies.
All lies. So the queues were forever. So my mother, she used to leave me in the shop sometimes and she'd go off and do the shopping. Do you know the panic of that when you're like, I don't know, you're so awkward and you're...
Well, I know exactly the panic because I was the same kind of kid. You're thinking, what if I get called now before she comes back? What if they close?
Yeah.
What if he goes to lunch? What if I don't have the money to pay him and he wants the money? And you're just an anxious mess.
She probably came back and paid, I don't know, or did I have the money? But yeah, very scared.
Do you know there was an article out before? There was a woman who was a hairdresser. She went to the doctor with pains in her chest and they couldn't figure out what it was and she was in agony and it was driving her insane. But what was after happening was that her boobs were pressing up against customers when she was doing the hair. And when the hair would fall off, the little hairs were going through her clothes into her skin.
Yeah.
And irritating the crap out of her.
Yeah.
And then like over time it like started driving her mad.
Yeah, you get like splinters.
Of hair?
They're sharp, yeah.
So I didn't make it up.
No, I don't know if it has to be the boobs.
I don't think it has to be.
I don't know if that bit was needed. When did you come here first?
Derek cut my hair first, and I mentioned this in the podcast, but it was the question he asked when he said, like, what bothers you the most about your hair?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm in. This is where I'm getting my hair cut forever now.
Yeah. Have you been back now anywhere else?
No, never. I haven't cheated.
I had to cheat on them a few months ago.
The wrong time to say it.
I did have to cheat because I don't know what happened. I think I had something unexpected, like an event.
And you thought you could swan in here.
I'm honest. I'm transparent.
Yeah.
So I did go somewhere else. There was something missing. It was okay. I think it's okay to have a backup.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm loyal, but
the vibes are special.
So
here,
I was talking to Maya. I said, "Oh, like, what do you bring that someone else doesn't bring?"
Yeah.
And she was saying, "It's not about the hair for her. It's about making the person comfortable in the seat."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Oh my God."
She's a therapist.
I felt like I had gone through
She actually is.
a therapy session. I said to her when I was leaving, I was like, that was much more than a haircut.
Take £100.
It really was. I was like floating down the street after.
She's lovely. Yeah, she's finished training and she's just waiting for her license or something, and then she'll be opening a practice soon.
Oh, really?
They're very similar things.
They hear stuff that is crazy. Like even when I was talking to Craig getting my hair cut, like he was telling me that people will reveal things that I'm not going to say now, but like, and he wasn't revealing things to me. But I do find myself sometimes, even when I remember I was talking to Derek first, and like we were talking about Ireland and stuff.
Yeah.
I was coming out with opinions I don't even believe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was just getting kind of carried away because I was like, it's so freeing to just talk.
Yeah.
As well, it's fair to say that like there was a big push for mental health and talk about mental health and stuff, and then it just became a bit cringe. It's like a Yorkie advert from before or something, you know? Talk to your mate, you know, that kind of stuff. And it just became a little cringe. I think even strangely enough now, like even the phrase mental health can be derided, right? It definitely can. Like it can be like people take the piss. You know, you don't spin the chair around and go like, hey Mark, you know, I hear you're having a hard time at school.
How are you feeling?
When you were growing up,
how depressed were you?
There's a few compounding things here, right? We're Irish.
Yeah.
And we're men, so we don't really talk. But when you were growing up in Ireland, in Ennis, you were also in the country. I was probably in the country as well, though. But when you were growing up, who were you talking to?
So we had, to be honest, I had a lovely group of friends, mixture of boys and girls, like secondary school times. And we were very emotional. Like
Yeah.
we were very dramatic, and everyone had problems. We were all depressed and like real, like serious, like really. Some of us was bad.
Yeah.
And loads of shit happened when we were younger, and we had like to get very serious for a minute. Like lots of people passed away in our school, which I know happens a lot, but we had a run of it in our school for a while. It just became kind of like this overhanging cloud over everything for a couple of years. But I don't remember any like actual professional help.
No.
Like we were all traumatized. Loads of awful things happened in our school for a couple of years. And there was like maybe a counselor or something there for a few days after something would have happened. But I don't think I ever even went to see someone. Because then, do you know when something like that happens, and if it's not like your best friend,
Yeah.
but it's someone maybe in the year ahead of you, they're not directly connected to, so you kind of feel like, oh, I don't really have the right to be
It's so much more confusing, though, isn't it?
bothered. Yeah.
Especially when you're that age, because there was a guy who died in my school, and he was in my year, and I wouldn't have been close to him. So then it's kind of you're almost feel like you shouldn't.
Yeah.
When you're that age and you're kind of involved in different groups and stuff, you're like, oh, if I'm seen to do this, it'll be like I'm being selfish, or you know what I mean? It's so weird.
Yeah.
But like that, now that I think about it, like that was a huge thing to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything happened in the school. I think in a strange way, the ceremony of funerals and stuff,
Yeah.
that helped to kind of process and mark and do all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But other than that, then it was, just back at it.
Back at it. There was maybe an assembly where everyone would kind of sit around crying, and then there'd be like, it was so not really helping for the people for the people like really close to whatever had happened. There was always like lots of help for them, and people got weeks off school and everything. But everyone else, it was very strange how things were dealt with, that you kind of just get back to normal.
But that's an Irish thing as well, though, of driving on. Like I was thinking about it when I was coming in on the tube. I think one of the things that really affected us as well was priests.
Yeah.
Right? So you had, at a certain point in school, was like you go to confession, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have to tell him your sins. Basically, everything that you're worried about is a sin.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? That's the way it's kind of marketed to you. Like that's the way you're now processing it. So it's like, oh, something bad happened, or I did something bad. That is a sin. That's guilt. And it was the first time I think I actually kind of put those two things together, where you would have to come in and like, a fucking bow to some priest and go like, oh my God, I've been so terrible. Like, please forgive me. Get God to forgive me.
Yeah. To just some guy.
Some lad in a suit.
Some guy who doesn't
You know what I mean?
And then the funerals, when there is something like that in school, and you have this guy kind of, it all comes down to his perspective on it.
Yeah.
Like you never met them, or if you did, like you weren't aware of like the bigger story and something. It's shocking.
Even if some people just said like, this is really sad. But there was this strangeness of just driving on all the time. Like even with my parents and stuff, I definitely didn't talk to them about it. I couldn't talk to them about it. Like, we have to talk about stuff with your parents?
But you wouldn't, because you're a teenager.
But even when you were younger, like when you were like
smaller, yeah, they were very good. They'd always ask, but like you're a moody like we were all like there was some awful like depressive periods like in my little group of friends. But I'd say nowadays though, there would be more things would be caught in school, and they'd be sent off for like some therapy or something. That didn't really happen. And kind of, you're like, these kids are going around listening to very dark music and they're very miserable. It didn't really get picked up. I don't know. But then you're talking about tiny school, didn't have resources.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it's easy enough to talk.
Yeah.
It is easy to talk. Like,
it's better now.
100% is. So like about 6 months ago, maybe, I was just, for all sorts of reasons, just stressed out of my mind. and I'm not just saying it like, but there were some people there that I spoke to and talked to, and it was literally just getting rid of that bad narrator in my mind that was reinforcing all the negative stuff. And some of the stuff was legitimately like negative and crap, but at least you could get someone else to kind of like interfere with these negative thoughts in your head that are just constantly bounding around. But I was Googling stuff the other night, and I was trying to find something related to me online. And I actually saw a video of myself on stage in the Blackout, which is it's a gong competition in London, which basically means you go up, and if the audience don't like you, they gong you off. I looked at it, did 5 minutes, got through. I can't remember any of it. I cannot remember being on stage. I can't remember getting through that. I can't remember the set. I can't remember any of it. And that was shocking. It was one of these moments where it like completely uprooted me. I was sitting there with my roommate, and I actually got a fright, right? Because I was like, oh crap, this is a mistake. This is not me, or this is a video of someone else, or whatever. And I couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
Because of what I was going through at the time had completely fried me.
Just numb.
Just completely numb, just going through the motions, like.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes for me anyway, I don't know how far I am in the hole mentally until I start coming out of it. What I definitely do is I can operate fairly high functioning and be completely depressed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like you won't really, I'll still get everything done. And that's not me like boasting. Like don't get me wrong at all when I'm saying that. It's a bad thing. You don't take to the bed. I could, if I was absolutely annihilated, I could. But if I had something on and I had to do it, I would do it. Do you know what I mean? The fact that I was driving on at that point and just like not even alive, like just pieces just deleted out of my fucking head. And
it's rolling on.
Yeah, and it definitely like again reinforced that thing of like, oh my God, I was not all right. I needed to talk more.
And then this job, like it's like getting on stage.
Someone said this to me before. They were like, you write material, right? You're in a certain mood, and then you have to go up and perform in that mood, no matter what's after happening you during the day.
Yeah.
And I actually stopped doing that because it was breaking me. So I'm like having the worst day of all time. And then what? I'm going to step up on stage and go, hey, everybody, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. How is this? Oh, my goodness.
We'll have to be. Well, actually, just remind us to explain what
I
is
think
happening.
Explain immediately.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
There is a person standing outside the barber shop, and the shutter is down, so we can just see the lower half, and they are extremely blessed.
Can you get a video?
Extremely blessed in the lower half, and really, really something to show.
Wow, I think they're really enjoying their day.
Jesus Christ!
My God.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll take a break.
We'll take a break. And I was doing like 20, 30,000 steps. You could look at my steps on my phone and see when I'm having bad days, because I'll just go and like keep on walking. But I went and I was like, okay, you know what? It's time to just get some one-on-one therapy. It's really good. I've got it before. It really helps. So I did like some online therapy with My Mind.
Oh yeah.
Who are like as far as I still know, a very good service, right, for anyone who needs to do it. But they hook you up with a therapist, and you kind of look at what they do and whatever. But I was basically like, anyone who's available, I don't care what you do, right? Just talk to me for an hour. Get this guy, and look, this guy's doing a very good service, but he was a bit crap. Maybe he was young in the game, and kind of a bit nervous or something. I was so anxious and out of my mind at that stage that I was like, I have no room for this, right?
Yeah.
So then kind of started worrying about him and how he was getting on. And then I said to him, look, I feel sometimes, even in this therapy session, that I'm kind of overthinking what's going on and then like defeating the whole point of therapy and foiling myself. And his face changed, and the look of horror on his face as he looks at me like something terrible has happened, right? And I look at him and I'm like, what are you like, what's going on? And he goes, I'm sorry, did you just say you're soiling yourself? Right? Which made me, and the poor guy was so serious, right? Which made me like about to start breaking down laughing. But I wanted to hold it together because I was so worried because it was going so badly for this guy in the therapy session. And I was like, no, it's not what I was saying. And then I spent the rest of the therapy session focusing on not dying laughing. And it worked.
And not shitting yourself.
It helped me so much.
I went years ago and I kind of was expecting answers and for them to say, oh yeah, this is what's wrong and do this now, you'll be fine. But they kind of just sit there and they make you talk and then they say, okay, see you next week. And it takes ages. If you just keep talking, you'll eventually come out of talking around the things that you've been saying to yourself for months.
Yeah.
And you start to like say things that are actually genuine. And we're talking a lot. Like the amount of people we meet, ask, how's it going? What are you doing? Like you have your little prepared speech of like, I'm busy, it's great, oh, I'm stressed in it. And you kind of go around and talk yourself around to say it's all fine.
And it was strange. It's like, this is going really well, right? And it's like brilliant. And like the people you talk to are so enthusiastic about it and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you, even in those like tiny little situations where all you have to say is, yeah, it's going great. And I'm so happy that people are listening to it. You almost catch yourself and go, did that come across right? Do I sound like an asshole?
Should I soften it a bit?
Yeah, should I say it's not going?
We don't know what we're doing.
We're big idiots.
I keep saying this new job that I got.
Yeah.
I keep telling people, I keep saying, oh, it's great. Sure, I don't know what I'm doing.
But you message me that, and have you seen my messages that go back to you where I'm like saying, I'm proud of you, Mark. I think you're doing great, like blah, blah. But
I'm only an agent.
That's an Irish thing as well, though.
Yeah.
I'm
only, dossing around.
Yeah. It's to keep the head down and like, God forbid you like actually be good at anything.
I know, not meant to be. You're supposed to talk everything down, and but the same with feeling bad. You're supposed to kind of say, "Oh, sure, it's great. I'd meet people at home." The things that they're dealing with, like awful things, like looking after people who are sick, or like I don't know, really, really tough situations, and they're so wrapped up. They're like, "Grant, it's all fine, it's all grand." Like it's okay, you can be.
But then I think in those situations, it's like they slow down and think about it.
Oh yeah.
And it's just disintegrate.
Some people looking after kids, looking after sick parents, probably doing 3 jobs and in debt, paying mortgages, and not a word.
Yeah.
And then I'm bitching about, I have to do a podcast.
Yeah.
I have to figure out what t-shirt to wear for the podcast.
Yeah, but it's also, you just don't know. Like that's I think the biggest thing. You just don't know what's going on with people. Yeah. Like you can't tell. Remember, I was working in St. Vincent de Paul when I was back in Cork.
Oh yeah.
And my mother used to work there. And
what do you mean
the charity place?
Like what?
Like St. Vincent de Paul.
I don't know what they actually do. I know the shop.
So they do like they'd have like a secondhand shop, right? And you go in and you bring your stuff and you buy stuff and whatever. But then what they also do is they do like food banks.
Oh.
And they source like, let's say, furniture for people, and they source things that like cost a fortune that you can't actually get that would put people out, like beds or cots or buggies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when they get things in, like if they get buggies and prams in, they don't immediately put it out on the shop floor, like other secondhand places. They might say, oh, like Mary, whatever up the road needs that, or they have a young kid, they're not doing too well, we should give it to them, whatever. Yeah. But on that, we were in there one day, and it's like a million of my mams just in there going around clucking like hens, sorting stuff like, no. This lad comes in, drives in an Audi.
Yeah.
Big business guy. And he comes in and he goes up and he says, I'm looking for a rocker, one of those things for a kid.
Yeah.
Right? And like, this guy's wearing a nice suit, like you said, big car outside. And he goes, I'm looking for a rocker. And they said, oh, we're sorry, we don't have one. And he just starts bawling, crying. Of course, the women surround him and they bring him into the back and they give him a cup of tea and whatever. And they're like, oh, what's wrong or whatever. And he's just like a guy riddled in debt, trying to keep up appearances, like can barely afford anything, was coming in there hoping to God he could get it for the kid, maybe hiding stuff from family. Or the women inside there started like, don't you worry now, we'll get you a rocker. I swear to God, about 45 minutes. And they were sending the lad out with a rocker and a bag of stuff and driving off.
The energy it took him now to go in and say that. And then, but once he asked for the help.
Yeah.
The help. There's been great things at home where like people have had someone sick or something, and everyone just kind of gathers around, and they, because you have to be very careful not to kind of belittle someone. You know,
Yeah.
you don't want to be making people feel like charity too much. But
No.
there's a few families they've had just shit times,
Yeah.
or like someone has passed away and there's one person looking after kids and stuff, and there might be like a collection, or there'd be just a bit of like, you know, if you're throwing away something, you'd offer it to it, but in a way,
Do it in a good way.
yeah, like, oh sure, I don't want this. You might want to keep people's pride as well. I don't know why I've been so reluctant to. I get ads for BetterHelp and all these online therapy things every day. I don't know why I'm so slow to take them up. I'd say they'd be very good.
You feel like you
Quite a mess.
want it.
Oh God, yeah, sure, I'm a disaster. But sometimes you'd love if someone would just notice it. And do you know when someone just catches you and like, you seem a bit manic now. What's going on? And people are a bit slow to like catch it sometimes.
But if you want to talk about me and you, like if I felt like you were off,
Yeah,
I kind of sometimes would be like, I don't want to add to his plate
I know.
by making him focus on that. Hey, Mark, seems like you're having a crap day.
Yeah,
So then I don't really know. I think for me, it's like if it started for a friend, like not just you,
yeah,
but like if it started going like kind of off the rail, like you know what I mean? Like if it was like, oh, this is like the last 4 times I've met him,
yeah,
he seemed off or whatever. You know, I don't know.
yeah.
But like, would you appreciate if I said?
You do though. I feel like you do. You kind of pick up on things. Well, I have to tell you as well. Like there was a few weeks ago when there was a shit show going on, and I was like, I'm gonna be low energy here today.
Yeah.
Because I've been in a mess and crying all day.
Yeah.
So, because you have to, because you're working. I don't know if that happens so much in normal work. I don't know. Would you text your colleagues and be like, I'm feeling a bit shit?
To be honest, I think that's the problem. Like, so going back to one of those days, like where, and I think that's why we work really well together as well, is because we're saying this is a weekly podcast we're doing. Like, life is going to be all around it, right? So you can't come in here doing cartwheels if you're having a horrendous day, and then we just tell the other person like this, like I'm not having a great day. You know, and then we kind of work through that or whatever. But at work, and I know this from working in offices and stuff, you say nothing.
Say nothing.
Right, unless it's like maybe a death.
Oh yeah.
Or like an official divorce maybe, or sometimes they just don't say anything, and so then you're sitting at your desk and you feel like your chest is going to explode,
Seething.
and you're just carrying on, you're just pretending because the reports must be there at 4 p.m. It can't be accommodated in the system that we kind of live in, right?
Yeah, I think you can take a sick day and call it something
Oh,
else.
100%. Take your mental health days, take your sick days, and take your holidays. The companies, right, especially big companies, they don't care about you, right? Like, I know it sounds terrible, right, but they don't. You're a number. If you're not fitting into their budget at some point, you're gone. So, like, don't be like, if you can, of course, it's not everyone's choice, but like, take your holidays, take the week off. The charge you get off it is unbelievable. Like,
yeah. So I had an awful wobble when I was about 20 in college. Very bad. Don't know, I just lost control of everything and was like at risk of like not finishing college. Like very bad. And like, oh my God, the pressure of that. Like imagine going to Dublin, spending a fortune and then not finishing. So there was loads of things going on and loads of reasons why, but I was a disaster for a couple of months. But I went and I went to the student advisor, Colleen, the nicest woman. She's about 3 foot tall, American. She's just what you want. She's just, well, how are we going to fix this? She's just a big bubble of like, hey, let's go. And she was so nice. And imagine the thousands of people she has to listen to and try and gauge like, are you actually in a dangerous position now, or are you just a bit lazy and tired? And like that's fine as well, but like she's trying to gauge
the responsibility of it, like
what I say to you could lead to you being around or not. Like big job, those people. So she was great, and then she sent me off And then there was another person who was like the head of the school or something. And I went to meet her. I actually met her again recently. She's very, very nice. She came to a show.
Oh, wow.
And she gave me this little eye of like, you know, good job.
You're doing all right.
You're still here.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're, because, you know, it was very bad for a while. Very, very bad. So they gave me a little hand and kind of, they sent me to like the university therapy thing, which was all right. But there was a bit of a sense of like, when you're urgently in danger, we're here. But maybe if you're feeling all right, we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not to blame them. That's
Limited resources.
20,000 students. They could have people in there all day long, every day.
Which then in turn makes people not reach out to get the help and stuff as well, right? So it's like, what was like the kind of difference that shifted your mind a little bit from being in a dangerous position to not?
Just kind of getting a bit of perspective, you know? Like the absolute worst thing, well, the worst thing, but beyond that would be like to fail and to drop out. And like people do that all the time.
Yeah.
And they bring it around. So when you kind of talk through like, what would that be like? And it's not actually that awful. But then they were very good. Like there's loads of help. And you could be up in arms and like the final straw could be you have an essay, you've done nothing, and that could tip you over the edge.
Yeah.
If you just ask the professor or whoever is like, it's actually not that important. Like
no, and also like from kind of being on a couple of different sides of it now as well, like even, you know, working in different places and whatever, they don't want anything to happen to you.
Oh, they need you.
No, but I, you know what I mean is like,
I know.
It's like there is actually a person on the other side, and hopefully, you know, you reach out with something like that, they will be like, hopefully again,
because I had like,
fuck that exam, you know what I mean?
in architecture, you're doing, oh my God, it's so, you're very much against your peers as well. Like if you're doing a normal degree, you're doing exams and essays, you never see the other people's work.
Yeah.
You submit your essay and it gets graded and you're done. But in architecture or like art college or fashion or something, you're constantly around your classmates and seeing what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's always some fucker who's really good at everything.
Yeah.
And you come in with all your stuff and you're so proud. And then everyone has progressed on again. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's really, really like...
And you have to present it as well in architecture, don't you?
Oh, and then you get ripped.
And then you get shredded.
Ripped apart. And like guest critics come in and they've never met you before. It's like TV. And they're like, this doesn't make sense. This is crap. And they're that's what the real world is. So they're trying to make you tough for that. But when you're a bit vulnerable and you're like, I was also an alcoholic. Should we talk about that? That's like, we don't say that word very often, but like I was bad. So you're there and you're dying and you've forgotten to do the thing you were supposed to do. And then you have all these people criticizing your work. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's so difficult.
And you can't see why you're doing it either, right?
Yeah.
Like, as in you have to have a very clear vision of, well, this will get me to, you know, X or whatever. But especially when you're that age, you suddenly, all of that like surety and stuff and clarity that you had about the road to where you need to go, they had in secondary school, I think, you know, because everything's painted bullshitty, right? Like it's like, if you work hard, you'll get here. And you start going to college, you start seeing it differently, and then you go, shit, this is foggy.
And then you're there making little models of trees at 3 o'clock in the morning.
My friend was an architecture, so I know it's like, I know the stuff you're talking about, but he would have to make those big kind of models that would have little people on it. Yeah. And what's that material? Is it just like kind of card or something? It's like white card.
Yeah.
And I remember he came up to Cork once and he had a really important presentation the next day. And he went out with us that night and he put his thing like, you know, sacredly up on the top of a wardrobe or whatever, like away from everywhere. And then he woke up in the morning and you could just hear him go, oh no, it was under his back.
Oh.
He slept on it. He probably took it down drunkenly, like, I'll protect it, and then like slept on it. And all these buildings are just like flapping around the place. So we've talked about like all the harrowing, terrible things, right? Yeah. But what do we tell the people to do? So one thing I want to say actually is we were talking about talk therapy and how it's like very talky, right? Because it is talk therapy. But there's also like there is therapy there to help you actually. Not that doesn't help you, but there to manage things and manage thoughts, like CBT, all these different sort of therapies out there that really do help. It's just, I guess, people can go get those, but what do you do on the smaller scale?
I'd say I'm not the best person at. I think I'm like, I need
Okay, what do you think you should do?
get shit together.
What do you think you should do for you?
I'm definitely out of control at the minute. There's too much going on, and I'm like flittering around, and I've been like this for years. And it's like, it's no way to live. You're just trying to get through the week. Like right now, I'm like, right, we'll wrap this up now. I have a big thing I have to do tonight. I have loads of stuff going on tomorrow. That'll be over. And it's just like the years go around. So like getting control of all of that, I think would be very good.
Well, how do you get control of it? And can you get control of any part of your day?
I think just accepting, like, you're just never going to be satisfied with what you've achieved sometimes. Like, this is a huge achievement. We've done this now.
Yeah.
But I have 5 other things I haven't done, and I feel really bad about them.
Yeah. I think that does come from, it comes from high functioning people as well, though.
Yeah.
Like, as in, you don't give yourself the credit. So if you ask people who are really talented and stuff at things, they will be like, "Oh, it's easy. It's whatever." You literally forget where you came from, right? So like, I'm sure at some point in your career or whatever, you would have thought this would be the coolest thing in the whole world.
Oh my
and
God.
it is, right? It is the coolest thing in the whole world. But your brain goes, "Okay, we've done it. Next thing."
Next thing. What's next? And everyone you meet is like, when's the live show? When's the tour? I'm like, well, give us a chance.
Yeah, I know.
It's coming.
I think if you're saying like, "Oh, you actually have to accept how shit it is," I don't think that's where you should be going. I think you should be saying, "Can I carve out an hour?" You were saying to me before, like, as in you try not to do anything on a Tuesday, right?
Sure, tomorrow's Tuesday. We're recording another thing. I'm doing a tour. And
Tuesday evenings.
no, I've agreed to meet 2 different people. Because I've a list of friends. Hello, sorry, we haven't seen.
Well, sure, they can listen to this.
That is actually becoming a problem as well. I have some friends who I haven't seen, and they're like, "Oh, sure, I know everything. They have all my news."
Would you not think that's a good thing, though?
It is, but then
We are basically like, almost outsourcing your coffee meetups.
my chats, yeah. This morning I gave in, so I woke up at 8:30. I was going to do a workout. I was going to make breakfast and clean the house. And I woke up and I was very sad, and I just went back into the bed.
That's good too.
Till 11:30.
That's good too.
And just let it happen. And then my phone was hopping. There's a load of stuff going on, and I just said no, and it was great. And I felt a bit rested then when I got here.
I think maybe what you need is to literally just give yourself like 1 hour.
I know.
Because you are racing.
I love going.
I think you love going, but I think
You join therapy. Some of my friends go to therapy every week, forever.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong. They're like,
there's nothing wrong.
there's nothing wrong because
all right.
because they go every week.
Yeah.
So they're coasting along, and they have this little offload to this strange.
Oh, it's phenomenal though. Like if you've gone to therapy and you come out of it and you're just going like, wow. But this is why people talk so much when they get into a barber seat or whatever, because they're just like, bloop, like all this stuff in me. But I think for you, you need an hour. Like if you say to yourself, "I'm gonna do," because I know you. Like if you say, "I'm gonna stop for 6 hours," that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like it has to be a tiny, tiny change. But I think that's how it happens. Like what's really important for me is my mental health goes out the window if I don't go to the gym.
I know.
And I always say to myself, I'm not doing it for aesthetic, fitness, nothing. I say you're doing it for your head. Like, and that's the one thing that I try and carve out during the week is like, I have to do that or I'll feel upended.
Yeah.
Like you should maybe try and do the hour before you fucking absolutely need the hour.
Yeah.
And stop meeting so many people. They can't all get a piece of Marty Cox.
I met a gay in Aldi the other day. Had a big chat. Actually, really nice.
Yeah.
A Twinkie has just moved to London from Ireland.
Yeah.
And sure, I launched in. I was talking for 20 minutes, giving every bit of advice, uninvited. What else do? You do the gym.
Do the gym. I get out and I walk. I think walking is the best thing ever. And seeing things happening. You see a lad run across the road and he roars at someone. and you go, whoa, and you're taking out your head for a couple of minutes, right?
Yeah.
I think one of the best things is a change of scenery.
Well, this the new job is in a different part of town that I've never really been around before. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Taking it because I've spent the last 5 years in Shoreditch and Soho, which are two of the most kind of chaotic parts of town. And I've been going around the same streets, doing the same things.
Yeah.
And it's kind of driving me mad. So this different part of town, it's lovely. Wander down a little alleyway, find something.
Yeah. Shock the system a bit.
Yeah. Take the lunch, go for a walk.
I also thoroughly enjoy touching trees, as I've said before.
I know, yeah.
But this is a Japanese technique.
I'd love to go to Japan. I mean, that would solve.
That would solve it all.
I honestly sometimes, this is not lying, I sometimes like get a pain and I nearly cry when I just think about walking around Japan. I can't explain.
Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening to your internet boyfriends. Goodbye, Denis Lynn.
Goodbye, Mark T. Cox.
We have a new episode for you every Thursday. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and you can email us at yourinternetboyfriends@gmail.com. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Welcome to this week's episode of Your Internet Boyfriends. This week we're talking about feelings, going to town with your mother, going to town on your mother. Maybe I should say going to town. Okay, welcome to this week's episode.
Not well. Hold on.
Welcome to this week's episode of Your Internet Boyfriends. This week we're talking about feelings, going to town with your mother.
Funny phrase.
Go to town on her.